All right, welcome back to the long-delayed Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. We apologize for the technical difficulties. Obviously, it's not our fault here on this, but things happen sometimes. You're working in, with computers, and sometimes computers falter, and so we had some technical difficulties. Hopefully, we'll be able to do the rest. We got one segment for you here where Mike gives us the 5 most meaningful stats of this upcoming game between the Browns and Jags. After that, we're going to take a break. And then hopefully we'll be on Channel 3 WKYC from 12:30 to 1 if our technical difficulties have been fixed. If not, then we won't, but hopefully we will be able to. For now, we'll send it to Mike.
All right, let us get into this after a quick word from FanDuel. You heard us talk a lot about FanDuel before. It's America's #1 sportsbook, and right now we have a little something different for you guys. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 to get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with the YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime you want. Just visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to download America's #1 sportsbook. All right, guys, 5-pack of stats for Sunday's game, and we start with Deshaun Watson. Some of these we have talked about throughout the week, but I want to put this into a digestible status for you guys. We mentioned this earlier, but CBS Sports tracked 1,752 occurrences of quarterbacks with at least 10 or more attempts of 15-plus air yards. Deshaun was the first quarterback they ever tracked to go over on attempts of 15 or plus air yards. His 2.6 air yards per completion were the lowest mark of his career. He was pressured 22 times. What was interesting, according to PFF's tracking data, only 5 teams in Week 1 had an average higher wide receiver separation on routes than Cleveland. Despite having separation, Watson still ranked in the bottom 5 in accuracy rate.
I mean, these numbers are we have to invent a word that's worse than terrible or whatever to describe what these stats are, because they're almost impossible.
They stats do a good job of describing what you see, and they add context to what you see. Like when we watch it on TV and we watch that it just seems like the defense is deflated. It seems like the receivers are deflated. It seems like it was impossible to move the football. These numbers show why it felt like that, right? Just giving context to what and then when you go watch the film, it's just, you see the guys open. You see you get a chance to see the separation. You see guys were open. You see some of the balls that he's throwing. It's just, they're not close, They're not close. So, I don't know.
Yeah, for him to be bottom 5 in accuracy while his receivers got open the 6th most amount.
And he had time.
And he had time.
We'll get to the time in 1 second.
I mean,
don't worry.
It's
Jamarcus Russell. It's Jamarcus Russell.
That's what it is right now.
Hopefully,
all right, we got 4 more stats. We got to get them done in 5 minutes, so we're going to fly through these. If you want a positive Deshaun Watson note, you want to feel good about Deshaun throughout his career, he has been extremely effective against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Granted, that was before coming to Cleveland, but in his career, he's 6-0 against Jacksonville. He scored 10 touchdowns, only thrown 2 interceptions. Both of those came in his first game against the Jaguars back as a rookie, as a 105-plus quarterback rating in each of his last 3 starts. Jacksonville, the only defense to allow a 300-yard passer in Week 1, and they'll be without safety Darnell Savage and cornerback Tyson Campbell in the game. So down 2 defensive backs, a bad pass defense on paper, plus Deshaun's historical record against
no offense, Mike, to me that entire board is meaningless.
I was looking for something here.
Yeah, even the 30-second it's based on 1 game. The only thing that's meaningful is what you added at the end, that their best corner and one of their starting safeties is out. I mean, basically, if he can't play well in this game, because even though the Giants and Raiders and Commanders are probably worse teams overall than the Jaguars I don't think were a very good pass defense last year either.
No, one of the worst.
So if he can't have success against a bad pass now they got a good pass rush.
That equalizes things.
But they can't cover.
But
his holding the ball so long is
if he's holding the ball and they're getting after him, that gives any corner time to cover downfield.
All right, what do you got next, Mike?
Jason brought up the offensive line. It was a conundrum in Week 1. They had 7 penalties against them, which ranked near the top of the league. But
awful.
On the other side, according to the PFF True Pass Set grades, which excludes play action passes, screen passes and passes within 2 seconds. So it takes out the quick hitters where you actually have to set up, block, and keep guys away from the quarterback. The Browns ranked 15th out of 32 with an overall team grade of 60. That was ahead of Matt Stafford and the Rams, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, Trevor Lawrence and the Jags, C.J. Stroud and the Texans. It tied with Dallas and San Francisco. And of the 6 sacks Dallas had in the game, 0 were attributed to a specific offensive lineman by PFF, which goes back to Jason's point earlier of the initial protection held up. Deshaun, for whatever reason, receivers not being open, indecisiveness, could be a myriad of different reasons, held onto the ball, got out the pocket, and that's when the sacks occurred.
Now, there were specific plays where there was breakdowns.
Sure.
I'm not saying, everything
Yeah,
was perfect.
DeJuan Jones especially was
Well, he had some.
not good.
There were some clips of him one-on-one with Micah Parsons, and he was great. But they had other plays where, they had some blown assignments. I'm not saying they were without fault. I'm just saying I wanted to make a point on Monday. I knew the week was going to be the line sucks. They got to give him more time. And the only point I was trying to make on Monday was, no, guys, he had plenty of time. In the aggregate, in the whole, you can always find plays on film of he blew that assignment, he messed up.
Right.
And they did have way too many penalties.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That you should be able to clean that up.
Yeah, and it's tough because when you do have a deficient offense that's anemic and can't really get it going, and you need any positive things to extend drives, because that's the hope, right? The hope is Deshaun hits a couple of throws and he gets into a rhythm.
right.
And, that's the way it's going to get jump started. But if you starting off first and, every time you got a great play, it's another penalty, or first and 20, first and 15. That's tough to keep the offense moving.
Mikey, number 4.
We were promised a new-look offense. Last season, the Browns ranked 29th in the NFL in pre-snap motion. That was one of the reasons they brought Ken Dorsey in, right? Well, according to True Media data from Week 1, the Browns ranked dead last in the NFL in pre-snap motion, 24.3%, and dead last in the NFL in motion at the snap at 4.3%. So,
As much as I've been a supporter of Kevin, I do think, there is a benefit to pre-snap motion. I don't know why he doesn't use it at all.
I think if you went back early those first couple of years, I think there was quite a bit. I don't know
So
where.
why
I could
is he
be
not
wrong.
doing it?
I'd be interested to go back and look at the first couple of years.
Because the great thing about motion is you can identify what the coverage is based on motion. You can get people moving pre-snap and then have misdirection off of that. And you can get guys that are in a motion that can use it as a burst or a little of a boost to get it on in flat routes. Anything you can do to make the defense have to adjust.
So why do we think Kevin's not doing it at all?
I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you.
Well, here's the thing: if you can't, if you can't shift without people being being covered up by the tight end and guys not being on the line of scrimmage, and then you can't get lined up correctly, and you got guys going downfield, coaches just say, "Screw it! I can't run that because we're getting penalties, so let's just be vanilla."
I feel like 2020, 2021, I could be wrong, but I feel like there was a lot of motion.
What happened to his screen game? His screen game used to be beautiful.
It's nothing. Number 5.
last one, third and long. We know it's tough. Tom Brady talked about the difficulty of that throughout the game. The Browns on Sunday against the Cowboys faced 3rd and 7 or longer on 73% of their third down attempts. Of those 11 attempts, they went 1 for 11 on those chances. Overall, they were 2 for 15 on third down attempts. The Jaguars' defense allowed Miami to convert 50% of their third downs in Week 1, so something's got to give.
Yeah, and who was the guy? Wiggins, that was on with us yesterday.
Wiggins, yep, Tony Wiggins.
Tony Wiggins was talking about there are a lot of third and longs that the Dolphins threw screen passes, got the ball to the running back, and they made a lot of good yardage on the outside. And that's something the Browns haven't really been doing. We'll see if they can try it. All right, Mike.
We'll see you on KYC in 3 minutes.
Very good.
Peace.